Hey guys, it's Steph. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please remember to subscribe, hit the bell for more content, and hit that like button, and share away here. We share away here for love. Star Wars. This is not Star Wars related, but it kind of is. Meryl Streep had a lot of really interesting things to say, so I'm going to let the video roll. Here we go. Around 3 in the morning on March 12th, 1978, John closed his eyes. "He's gone," the doctor said. But Meryl wasn't ready to hear it, much less believe it. What happened next, by some accounts, was the culmination of all the tenacious hope Meryl had kept alive for the past 10 months. She pounded on his chest, sobbing, and for a brief, alarming moment, John opened his eyes. "It's all right, Meryl," he said weakly. "It's all right." And what was it that brought him back? A final rush of blood to the brain? Her sheer force of will? Whatever it was, it lasted only for a second or two. And after that, John Cazale closed his eyes again. He was 42 years old. That is page 190 from Michael Schulman's book, Her Again, biography of Meryl Streep. New York Post. She had a new, different interpretation of Kate. She is not an independent woman to be broken by a man, but one who learns the deep satisfaction of giving herself over to love. "What I am saying is, I'll do anything for this man," Streep told a reporter at the time. "Look, would there be any hang-up if this were a mother talking about her son? Service is the only thing that's important about love. Everybody's worried about losing yourself, all this narcissism. Duty, we can't stand the idea now either, but duty might be a suit of armor you put on to fight for your love." I absolutely love that quote. I think it's amazing, and it is something that I think SJWs with their narcissism don't get. And I really want everybody to understand that is what love is about. Hey guys, welcome back to the canteen. It's Stephanie, your friendly neighborhood barkeep, bar manager, Wookiee Wrangler. The lead into this was page 190, of course, as I mentioned, from Michael Schulman's book, Meryl Streep, Her Again. And it was about when John Cazale, one of the great loves of her life, if I think probably the great love of her life, passed away from lung cancer. She spent 10 months helping him, taking care of him. And her words later about why she did what she did are very appealing. And I really want all the girls out there to read it, because she knows something about male-female relationships, and I really think it comes from her upbringing. She went to Yale drama school. Excuse me. She went to Vassar. She's very patrician. She's very East Coast. That person. She started her career in acting on stage, doing off-Broadway and Broadway theater in New York, and that's how she met John Cazale, from doing Shakespeare in the Park, Measure for Measure. Some people said they were a weird-looking couple. I find Meryl Streep to be a very beautiful woman. She's got the look of a woman Raphael would have painted. The arched nose, the slanted eyes, the way her hairline is, her hair color, this sort of strawberry blonde. But let's go into this. She was at the Vanity Fair Q&A about Little Big Lies from HBO, and a beta male walked up and said to her, let me read this. According to InStyle, Streep interjected, all right, let me go back. All right. The star appeared in a panel alongside her Little Big Lies co-stars Reese Witherspoon, Laura Dern, and Nicole Kidman, ahead of the HBO series Season 2 premiere. The group was talking about the breakout hit series when Kidman recalled a story in which a male fan came up to her and told her how much he enjoyed the female-led series. According to InStyle, Streep interjected, saying that she was glad a man found something in the show that appealed to him. She then noted that she feels the term toxic masculinity is detrimental to just one gender, when being toxic is something everyone can do. Sometimes I think we're hurt. We hurt our boys by calling something toxic masculinity. I do. I don't find that putting those two words together, because women can be pretty effing toxic. It's toxic people. We have our good angles, we have our bad angles. I think labels are less helpful than what we're trying to get to, which is communication direct between human beings. We're all on the boat together. We've all got to make it work. This is the complete opposite of Kathleen Kennedy. But I'm going to say something. And this is why I bring up her relationship with John Casalve. She met him, she was 14 years younger than him, which is hearkening back to Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. He's 14 years older than she when they started their affair on the set of A New Hope. She thought he was the most amazing man she'd ever met. She is noted saying that everything she learned about acting was from him. Casalve was equally blown away with her. He had a sort of sad, and you can see by the pictures I used, a very sad sort of forlorn look to him. And we all know him from Fredo in The Godfather. That's who he played. Al Pacino and him were best friends, Robert De Niro. It was like the Italian boys club, all right, of actors. And he and Casalve and Streep had an affair that lasted 2 years. They went from meeting on the stage and working on Measure for Measure to sharing his apartment in what would later be known as Tribeca. And they really cared about each other. He was an interesting guy. He's very meticulous, very slow, doing everything just the right way. You know, very studied. He was very curious about people. And it's really interesting, this relationship Meryl had with him, because she basically said, you do what you do for the man you love. You take care of him when he's ill. And she was there with him for the last 10 months of his life, because they were together for 2 years. That was almost half of their relationship, was him struggling with cancer. When they made The Deer Hunter, all hell broke loose because the producers did not want that guy who's dying to be in the movie, and they raised the director raised hell till they got him, till they were okay, fine. A lot of things go into making a movie, and one says actors have to be insured. And apparently there's a story going around, which Robert De Niro neither confirmed or denied, that he paid Casalve's insurance so he could be in The Deer Hunter. So yeah, this was like yet another movie where, you know, these guys that had been in The Godfather stuck up for each other. So when you think about this, and you think about her admonishing the use of toxic masculinity, and the underlying fact is labels divide people. And the SJW movement is very, very good at dividing people. Meryl Streep is one of those women who gets it. I grew up in a family of 9. They're all baby boomers. I'm Generation X. I'd never fell for the feminist bullshit, and because I've always thought it harmed my dad, it harmed my brothers, it harms my husband, it harmed my boyfriends, harms my guy friends. As Meryl Streep said, we're all in this boat together. Now, granted, I don't agree with her at all on politics, but I agree with her on this. And let me tell you, there are women that are boomers, that are feminists, that agree with her too. Psychologically speaking, it's damaging to label someone toxic because they happen to have different plumbing than yours. Okay? It's psychologically damaging to the point where they feel belittled, they feel wronged, they feel like they're not good enough. They feel they're self-loathing because they're men, and that is utter bullshit. And when you think about the other actresses in Hollywood that push this feminist superiority bullshit, like Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, who I hate, I hate her. You know, these are, you know, you could even go as far as Charlize Theron, Rose McGowan, Alyssa Milano, who's a complete nitwit. She's not even worthy. I mean, her spiel is being noticed. Virtue signaling for parts. All right. They did everything wrong. Okay? With men. Meryl Streep's upbringing was very patrician. Yale and Vassar. Look at her. She looks patrician. She held herself to a standard. She let herself fall in love when it was time. She was 29 years old when she met Casalve. Okay? She'd been a hard-working actress trying to break it in to being, you know, she was already pretty successful, but trying to break in to film. And film is sort of, for a stage actress, for a stage actor, it's very difficult. It's a whole different way of doing your job, because it all has to do with knowing your lines. Your body language is different because the audience is there because of the camera. You're acting to a camera. It's all just, and the way you emote, project yourself, it's very different. And so it was a learning curve. The fact the camera loved her and loves her still is really remarkable. The complaints about older women not getting any roles in Hollywood when it comes to Meryl Streep is bullshit. Okay? She did it right. Jane Fonda did it wrong. Jane Fonda constantly chose the wrong guy. From her first husband, who was a real creep, to, you know, Tad Turner, who's just a cartoon. You know, a woman needs a real man. And to me, when I read the story about Meryl and John Casalve, I see a real man there. Okay? I see a real man. He's older, wiser, been there, done that, owns the t-shirt, falls in love with this young girl. She's not really that young, but she's still a bit of an ingenue in a way. And during the affair, he imparts a lot of his wisdom about the job they have, the shared job they have, which is acting, about life. And he teaches her the most valuable thing I think a woman can ever learn: how to let go and love a man. Okay? And so her saying this about toxic masculinity, her being married to her husband, Don Gummer, for decades. They have children. She has a son. They have a son named Henry. Her saying that, and then if you look at the Casalve relationship she had with John Casalve, you can see where she's coming from. Okay? So when she gets crapped on by Jezebel, which is a shit site, and other of these crap sites, because she basically called him out for blatant bigotry. It tells you something about the left. Now, these people don't really have any power. It's not like they're going to chase Meryl Streep out of Hollywood because she's Meryl Streep. Okay? This is why you see the SJW movement starting to crack. The division is even pissing off hardcore leftists to the point where they're calling it out. Men and women are not the same. I'm going to explain this to you, and then I'm going to let this one go because I have another more fiery thing I want to talk about. Men and women aren't the same. Never have been, never will be. Men fall in love with their eyes, but a woman, you get him here, okay? Because a man can have sex and not give a shit. We've all heard SJW losers like Bill Maher talk about hate fucking, you know, Sarah Palin. You know, amongst others, because she doesn't agree with what their stupid opinions are. You know, and you never hear a real man say shit like that, ever. You know, you just don't. She called, you know, Meryl Streep has called them out. And you can tell, you know, men and women are different, and she knows that. When Casalve fell in love with her, she's very different, very unique, and very beautiful. but she's also extremely talented, extremely intelligent. And he fell in love with everything. A man, once he looks at you and you give that part of your personality, you give this and you show him this, the attraction becomes bigger for him, okay? Women, we fall in love with their eyes, fall in love with their shoulders, fall in love with how they treat us, if they can make us laugh, their intelligence. We fall in love with their presence. The more strong and masculine a man is to me, the more I really like him. Okay, that's, why I married a military man, is because that is actually pretty much the last bastion of alpha male on the planet in America. Okay, and so I just want to talk a little bit about this. Kudos to Meryl Streep. Too bad Kathleen Kennedy doesn't think that way, because if she did, Star Wars probably wouldn't be up shit creek without a paddle right now. All right. And that's a fact. So this is Steph signing out. I'll see you on Galaxy, see you around the cantina. Please remember to tip those Wookiee bartenders 20%. And no fights in the cantina. You take that out. No gunfights in the cantina. You take that shit outside. No droids, no bounty hunters, no Raylos. I'll see you on the Galaxy Scoundrel. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to subscribe if you haven't, hit the like button, hit that bell so you know when I upload more content, and share away here for love of Star Wars. The next video is going to be a rant about ageism amongst Star Wars shows, and it's a doozy. I'll talk to y'all later. See you soon.